And now, a special presentation.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Now, before we dive into today's video, the comment section will be on. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see any BS disrespectful comments under my comment section because I don't have time to be going at immature adults or immature teenagers who like to bitch and disrespect everybody and everything. You know what I'm saying? Because our society is cooked. This is my channel. Don't tell me to tone down the music. Don't tell me to do this, that, and the other with my content, okay? It's my content. If you don't like it, you can walk out the door and leave. You know what I'm saying? Y'all come out in my comment section just to complain and bitch. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still going strong, baby. So, fuck you, mean. Fuck you. But now that we got out of the way, I was looking through, you know what I'm saying, my old pictures, my old videos from 5 years ago. And I was thinking to myself while I was at work, you know what I'm saying, about my 2020 self. You know what I'm saying? Me 5 years ago, I was a beast. You know what I'm saying? 2020 TXP was a beast. You know what I'm saying? I took no shit from nobody. You know what I'm saying? I would have to look deep inside your mind to know if you're a real friend or a fake friend. You know what I'm saying? If I don't like somebody, I keep that shit to myself. Maybe I might hint that I don't like you, okay? I don't like certain people, but I keep that shit to myself because here's the thing. It'll be better to think that shit than to just hurt everybody else's feelings. You know what I'm saying? And I've noticed a pattern with myself, you know what I'm saying? Because back when I was a teenager, let's just say 13, 14 years old, I was going through a mental block, okay? A lot of narratives were being passed around, a lot of rumors, a lot of jokes, a lot of bullshit being thrown at me, you know what I'm saying? And basically, I was looking for a comeback, you know what I'm saying, when I got to high school. But the Corvette hit the brick wall, you know what I'm saying? That was just an instant stoppage right there, you know what I'm saying? It was not looking good, you know what I'm saying? But that was a learning experience for myself. It was the best learning experience because it shaped me to be the man that I am today doing this content for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been on YouTube for 10 years, you know what I'm saying? I used to do like video editing videos and then took a break and then returned in 2020, you know what I'm saying? But this is about my sophomore year self. Started in summer 2019. I had noticed that I've been hanging out with or talking to fake friends, you know what I'm saying? And somebody had told me about the situation, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, hell no, I'm not going to be dealing with those types of people because they have shown signs of red flags of being fake. So that changed my whole persona that I was not going to take any jokes, any bullshit from anybody, okay? I spoke my mind, okay? Spoke my mind on TikTok. Made changes to myself, trying to character develop myself, you know what I'm saying, or who the hell I want to be for the rest of high school, because I was not going to have a repeat of freshman year at all, because if I do, then they're going to write me off for the rest of high school, okay? I used to be the top dog in 6th grade, you know what I'm saying, like I was just this most likable guy. But then as the next 2 years had gone by, it felt like I was insufferable. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't know what the hell I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because as a kid with autism, with a room filled with people, they don't understand what you're talking about or what your creations is, your art, your creativity. That's tough. But October 2019, we already know the story. You know what I'm saying? Of how I got my confidence fully, you know what I'm saying? Went up on stage with my brothers, performed, you know what I'm saying? Gave the best of my ability on that stage. And I had my brothers to help me, you know what I'm saying? This was not a one-man show, okay? I hated to have have a one-man show. I don't like one-man shows. Everybody got to eat. Everybody got to eat. Okay? And after that, things certainly changed for the better. You know what I'm saying? I was able to talk to more people, hang out with more friend groups, explore. And I was always shady. You know what I'm saying? I was not afraid to pull any punches. You know what I'm saying? Because times were different back then. Society was more stable back then. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you could just throw shots, and people will not get at you in the comment section like, "What the hell are you talking about, Unk?" Yeah, that. I would be able to do that today, but unfortunately, I've been the bigger man since then, since 5 years ago. Because I was throwing shots at everybody, okay? Because usually people would start with you and try to, you know what I'm saying, basically test your patience or test your Jesus, test your gangster. You know what I'm saying? And it was just so easy to, bark back. And also, 5 years ago, I had the courage to have fun. You know what I'm saying? I didn't give a damn, okay? I didn't even give a damn about who didn't like me, who disliked me, who whatever people thought about me. I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? And that's the characteristic that I always had with myself, even to 2025. You know what I'm saying? That's how I created the character Draco Thompson, who has been a long-time character on this channel. You know what I'm saying? And will continue to be on this channel. You know what I'm saying? That's where Draco Thompson comes from. He wants all the smoke. With me in 2020, I wanted all the smoke. You know what I'm saying? It was like I was always looking for problems. You know what I'm saying? Whatever was on my mind, I spoke it. You know what I'm saying? Because I still had a lot to learn at 16. I had a lot to learn at 16 years old. Because, you know what I'm saying, being a black kid, you know what I'm saying, you have a lot to learn. And being a kid in general, you have a lot to learn. And there's going to be bumps in the road. I understood that because I always thought I was untouchable after that performance on stage that I did alongside my brothers. I thought I could do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because I was waiting for an incident to happen. I don't know why, but I would always be prepared, you know what I'm saying, to defend myself. I didn't need no damn lawyer. I didn't need no lawyer. I wanted to just be myself without causing any problems, you know what I'm saying? And I will always know who's fake, who's not fake, who I was in love with, you know what I'm saying, which girl was right for me and who wasn't right for me. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You know, hurdles like that. Be able to bounce back instead of being a sad sap, okay? Because I was a sad sap a lot before 2020. And you know what I'm saying? I stopped being a sad sack. You know what I'm saying? Mentally strong. You know what I'm saying? Mentally strong. And that's basically what my family would want me to be, is to be myself. And I had to close back then too. You know what I'm saying? And basically, 2020 TDXP gave no fucks. No fucks at all. You know what I'm saying? He didn't care. If he was gonna talk his shit, he was gonna talk his shit. If he was gonna trash talk, he was one of the biggest trash talkers on the planet. I was. You know what I'm saying? I would trash talk you and pull no punches. You know what I'm saying? I've learned it from the best. I've learned it from basketball. I've learned it from football. I've learned it from everywhere, especially your uncles around the table. But a certain group didn't like the trash talking, and I didn't care. And that was for the first time I was able to defend myself instead of letting somebody tell me what the fuck I should do. Because 5 years ago, I was tired of people telling me what the fuck I should do, especially people my age, you know what I'm saying, over the most ridiculous shit, because I was not going to let some narratives, you know what I'm saying, mess with my mental health. And I was not going through that again. I've already went through that through 8th grade. I wasn't going to do that shit again. But there you have it. 2020 TDXP had zero fucks to give. He was fully confident. He did not give a fuck what you think. You know what I'm saying? it may seem like some people may think, this guy, he's weird. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's better to be a good guy than to be an asshole. Obviously, school ended in March that year. You know what I'm saying? And basically, we all know why I wasn't on social media, because of that little situation that happened on Valentine's Day. Made several videos on that. You know what I'm saying? The snitch. But in 2021, from 2021 to 2024, I've noticed that I've gotten a whole lot softer since then. Like Flight Reacts from 2020 to present day. He's always been more with ease, because he didn't give a fuck. He just hated NBA players just because, you know what I'm saying? But now, 2022, I didn't have that same energy, but I started Dominant Year. It was about bringing people together. You know what I'm saying? And then after that year, that is where everybody would flip the script and basically would just make up all sorts of bullshit narratives as I went into the adult world. But let them. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Love them, but I don't give a fuck what y'all think about me. Okay? That's tough love. You could talk about me all the fuck you want. I don't give a fuck. I've always had that energy. This year, I started. You know what I'm saying? Late last year is when I started. But I think 2025, my 2025 self would be friends with my 2020 self. But my 2020 version would fit well in today's year. You know what I'm saying? Present day. But that's the end of the story. I'm sticking to it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your professors, tell your teachers to play my videos. And I will see you guys on the next one. I'll see you guys in season 5 of Homeboy Alone. I'm out this bitch.